Hi, my name is Jackie Clotfelter, and today I will be covering the topic of if it is feasible to take all dairy out of Jefferson County schools and replace them with dairy substitutes. So one thing a lot of people don't know about dairy is the amount of people that are lactose intolerant. Lactose intolerant means that you can either get one over time or be born with it through your genetics, and it's when their bodies don't produce the lactase enzyme to break down the lactose and sugars, which means that they can't drink the dairy and they'll get stomach issues and problems like that. So 75% of the world are lactose intolerant and 25% of America is lactose intolerant, with 2.5% of children having a milk allergy, which can be life-threatening. And so out of those 25% of the United States that's lactose intolerant, there are 30 million children that rely on school every day for their one meal. So out of those 30 million children, only a couple of them are able to benefit from the good characteristics from dairy, like the protein and calcium. And the children that drink it every day are also getting those benefits, but they're also getting the downsides to it, like the saturated fats and and cholesterol, which can lead to diabetes, obesity, and heart disease later in life. So to fix this problem, our solution is a 4-step plan to remove the dairy out of schools with dairy substitutes. So the first step of the plan is to find a financially good substitute for dairy. And then the second part of the plan is to educate the children on why they should want to make the switch between dairy and the dairy substitute. There have been studies that show that good ways to introduce children to new foods is by their peers, their social environment, and education. So if we educate the children, they're more than likely to want to try the new substitute. The second step of the plan is to offer both the dairy and the substitute to the children so they're not too shocked when they are not allowed to drink their old milk at all. And then over time, we'll get to the fourth step where we will take out all dairy from the Jefferson County schools and replace it with the dairy substitutes. So the next thing is to see if this is feasible. And to do this, we are comparing some things. And by looking at this chart, you can see that dairy milk does contain the most calories compared to almond milk and the others, which contain about 40 calories for almond milk, 80 for soy, 70 for rice, 45 for coconut milk, and then hemp milk actually has more calories than dairy, containing 140 calories. And then this chart also shows us one thing which could make this problem not feasible, which is that cow's milk contains the most protein, which is one good characteristic that comes out of cow's milk. And the rest just don't have enough protein to compete with the dairy milk, making it kind of hard. And then if you look down here, you can see at Walmart, this is comparing the prices of all the substitutes. So coconut milk is the most expensive, costing $6.54. Almond milk is $5.48. Hemp is $5.05. Rice is $3.48. Soy is $3.23. Cows is $2.29. So by looking at that, you can see that a lot of the other substitutes are quite triple or double what dairy milk does cost, which is a bit of an issue because schools will not expand their budget to go with this plan. So is it even feasible? Ecologically and technologically, it is feasible because the technology to make the milk substitutes have been around for centuries. And ecologically, although it does take a lot of water to produce an almond per se, it still takes more water to wash the cows, feed the cows, clean the facilities, and things like that. So it is better for the environment. Socially, the plan is also very feasible because a lot of people have been educating themselves on if they would like to make the switch from dairy milk to milk substitutes. But the one part where this plan is not feasible is financially, because by looking at the previous slide where you see all these prices, you can see that cow's milk is just the cheapest option to go for, and schools will not expand their budget to switch to a better substitute. So because of that, this plan is not feasible. But there are other recommendations, like you could send a pamphlet home with your students with all the information on dairy and milk substitutes, and then they can show their parents, and then they can make their decision at home if they would like to switch from dairy to one of the substitutes.